60 Minutes Overtime.
The story is about one of the worst race massacres in U.S. history. And what was so shocking was I had not heard anything about it. My name is Nicole Young, and I'm the producer for this week's story, Exhume the Truth. In 1921, a white mob came into the black side of Tulsa called Greenwood and literally burned it to ash. Killed upwards of 150 to 300 people, 1,200 homes burnt, houses looted, businesses destroyed, people's livelihoods completely obliterated. Before the massacre, Greenwood was a thriving black idea of what could have been for so many people today, and it was completely ripped away and taken away. The Vernon AME Church in Tulsa is one of the only surviving original buildings, and it survived by a piece of the church from 1921. They were able to build back around in the same place where it stood. We worked with Reverend Turner of the AME Church.
I don't know how they did it, but the following Sunday after the massacre, they came and worshiped in our basement. And that's the same basement that we have today.
This is Nicole Young, everybody. She's the producer of this story.
So we asked the congregation to tell us the oral histories that they heard from their grandparents, their great-grandparents.
My great-grandmother awakened my grandmother by the words of El Doris, get up, the white folks are killing the colored folks.
My grandmother, my father's mother, was pregnant with him on the day of the massacre. They didn't talk about it in our family. What I do know is that my father grew up watching them rebuild from ashes.
And in that crowd, right in the front row, was Tiffany, Leanna, and Reverend Joe, the family of Terrence Crutcher.
Shots fired!
So not only did they live the horror of the death of their son and brother, they're also direct descendants of the massacre from 99 years ago.
Okay, my name is Reverend Joey Crutcher. My grandmother would tell us about the race ride. That's what they called it. She said we had a real bad race ride, and her mother and her, and I think she might have had a couple of children at that time, they fled Tulsa. They fled, and they stayed away. They were really scared about what was going on.
In 2017, Bill Whitaker did a two-part segment on the shooting of Terrence Crutcher.
There was absolutely no justification whatsoever, with all the backup, for Officer Shelby to pull that trigger. No justification whatsoever.
If I wait to find out if he had a gun or not, I could very well be dead.
But as it turned out, he did not have a gun.
No, he did not.
And because of your action, a man is dead.
Yes.
After Bill Whitaker's 2017 piece, Betty Shelby was acquitted. Now she works as a sheriff's deputy in the neighboring county. You still have a city that has huge racial tension. And you have so much history of that racial tension and what that tension has caused. The day after Memorial Day in 1921, a massacre happened. And 99 years later, almost to the day, George Floyd was killed. And people are protesting in Tulsa. They're raising their arms and raising their voices. If there was that much tension 99 years ago, there's got to be tension now when you still have Betty Shelby working in a neighboring county, when you still have Terrence Crutcher's family coming to the Vernon AME Church. Tulsa still has deep racial divide. You still have a black side of Tulsa, you still have a white side of Tulsa. There's still a railroad track dividing both sides of the town. And you have a highway that was built in the 60s, right through Greenwood. The massacre was always important, which is why 60 Minutes was there. But now, seeing the heartache of a nation, of a community, of a people, understanding the dark history of America in all its ugly forms, all of the hard conversations are more important now than they ever have been.